What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is I want to talk to you guys about the fingerprint sensors, or the rumored in-display fingerprint sensors. So if you guys have seen smartphones in the past, whether that's a Samsung product or Apple product, just basically smartphones in general, tablets even, they did come equipped with fingerprint sensors, whether that was down at the home button or possibly if you're using a modern Samsung device towards your camera. What Apple has done recently with the iPhone X is obviously ditch this fingerprint sensor. Therefore, it does not have Touch ID, where now it has Face ID. Manufacturers are still putting fingerprint sensors into their smartphones these days, whether that's within the screen, that's within a button, or if that's in another location. Like Samsung, they do it at the very back next to the rear facing camera. And now rumors are going out where for 2018 we may see a lot of phones out there with in-display fingerprint sensors. So basically the fingerprint sensor will be integrated or built into your screen. And probably the way they're able to do this is combine the fingerprint sensor with the pressure sensor. So for instance, the Galaxy S8 and the Note 8, both those phones have a pressure sensor. So if you were to put a little bit more pressure on that part of your phone screen, which would be at the very bottom, that is a home button, or that can act as a home button, and depending on how you have it set, it'll do a certain command. With that being said, it looks like for 2018 that manufacturers are not ditching the fingerprint sensor, which for some people that is a plus. And who knows how these fingerprint sensors are going to act out. Maybe some are going to integrate it into the display, some are going to do it the more traditional, or I guess you can call it old-fashioned or the old-style way, where it's integrated into a home button or possibly in another location of the phone. Apple was ditching the fingerprint sensor with the iPhone X, and for some people that might be a good thing, or it might not be a good thing at all. So that's why like the iPhone X doesn't really appeal to everyone, and not just due to the price, but the way it's designed. So like you don't have a home button anymore to go back to your home screen. But it seems like Apple is trying to do that, and all the other manufacturers don't see anyone ready for that yet. That's why rumors are going around that fingerprint sensors may be integrated a new way, which is going to be in the display. In that case, that probably give people a benefit, whether they have to do like some online payments with like Samsung Pay or Android Pay, whatever the case may be, or maybe just for verification to unlock your phone. It seems like with the fingerprint sensor, people are just more safe that way. There are pros and cons for each, such as like Face ID. Let's say if someone were to like take a picture of you, and all of a sudden they try to hold that up in front of your phone, then bam, your phone is unlocked right there. Whereas a fingerprint sensor, okay, they would actually need your actual fingerprint. So if you're not around, someone tries to unlock your device, and if they don't know your passcode, they don't have your fingerprint at all. But there's also another downside. Fingerprint sensors may not work properly, and the Face ID, once you unlock with your face, it's just right there, done and complete. So there's pros and cons for each. Now, what do I think about the fingerprint sensor within the display itself? I think that's a pretty neat technology, because from what I've seen is like people did love using the fingerprint scanner, even like on the iPhones when they had the Touch ID. And then when the iPhone X came out and it did not have a fingerprint sensor, people were disappointed, and that's why like they either stick with the iPhone 8 or maybe stick with their iPhone 7, or maybe start looking at other platforms that have a fingerprint sensor but didn't care where it was located. My only concern is, like, let's say if a phone has a pressure sensor and a fingerprint sensor at the same time, can they put it in the exact same spot on top of each other? It may be a possibility, but there might be some workarounds that they would have to do, because I'm still amazed by how my Note 8 handles the pressure sensor very well. The only time like I feel it doesn't handle well is like sometimes when I apply the same amount of pressure that it doesn't recognize, unless if I either apply more pressure or apply the same amount of pressure a few times, then it finally recognizes that I was making a gesture on that part of the screen. So we have yet to see how this is going to work, because I would imagine like they will put the pressure sensor on one corner of the screen, and then they'll put the fingerprint sensor in the middle, because by the time you want to use the pressure sensor, then you have to go to like one corner of the screen versus doing it in the middle. But I think manufacturers may be able to do something like that. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out the description below for my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.